Okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I have my mic off. Sorry, guys. Okay, I had my mic off. Sorry about that. Okay, so in my earlier live, we were talking about a possible plane crash. We were seeing the FAA, all of that. Okay, so here is what happened. As soon as I get off live, there's breaking news. And this breaking news is just making it viral, okay? So here it is. Here it is. I know I'm back, Lisa. I'm back, girl. And it's all because what we were seeing before I got off live was this. It was this right here. It was this right here, guys.
We do want to take you back to that breaking news we've been following for you in Galveston Bay. The U.S. Coast Guard has confirmed that there were 8 people on board this small plane that went down in heavy fog on the bay.
That's right. Now, the crash happening near the causeway. And this is a map of where the emergency responders are set up. And that's where we find our Angie Rodriguez, who has been there for quite some time now. Angie, what are you noticing? Is visibility still pretty bad?
Yeah, Caroline, the visibility actually got a little bit better just about 30 minutes ago, but it seems to be picking up actually more now. So it is actually a lower visibility than we saw just in our 5 o'clock live shot. I do want to let you guys know some details while you take a look at the scene behind me. Still a lot of activity going on here, but we have been able to confirm that the plane was a Mexican Navy plane. The Secretary of Mexico actually put out a statement in regards to this crash. They said it was a medical flight with the Foundation Micho y Mao, which helps children with severe burns be transported to hospitals. We do know this incident happened again here in Galveston. That's according to the statement that the Secretary of the Marine of Mexico put out. We do know in the statement, they continue to say that they activated protocols of search and rescue with local authorities. We do know that to be true as well, because since we've been here on scene, we've seen Galveston County Sheriff's Office, the dive team, bring out several.
This, of course, is going to be shown with the astrology. So stay tuned, guys.
Of their boats here as well, the crime scene unit, drone unit, and patrol. Now, we were told originally someone from inside the plane actually called 911. The Coast Guard says the call came in at about 3:20 this afternoon, so just a couple of hours ago. And again, this happening all at the base of the causeway. We're still waiting for Texas DPS to make their way here on the scene. We do know Texas DPS and the FAA are the lead investigators or the lead agencies of this investigation. Once they get here on scene, we will be bringing you more information on this as well as it continues to unfold. But again, just to update you on those details, 8 people confirmed to have been on that plane in the water. 3 of them were loaded into an ambulance, one of those being a small child. Back to you guys.
From what you can tell, is the search still going on for parts of this plane, obviously in Galveston Bay at the moment?
Yeah, so I did speak with 2 officers here with the Galveston County Sheriff's Office. They're still blocking off this area right behind me at the base of the causeway. So it appears there's still some type of investigation that they are continuing, whether they're looking for a plane or people, we're not really sure. We also aren't sure of the extent of those injuries. They weren't able to tell us what really is going on because they're waiting as well for Texas DPS to get here on scene to be able to officially break down some of those details.
Yeah, Angie, the FAA also will have to do an investigation. It's still a developing story. So
there you have it, guys. FAA, right? We got the FAA. We have, oh shoot, we have Mexico, and then we have Texas. So we're going to look at that, right? We've got to look at it because they should all show up. They should all show up with the astrology, right? Girl. Well, I mean, now, Lisa, the dark moon is in Sag, and it's anything going on with planes right now, minus the Greg Biffle plane. Anything going on with the planes right now should have to do with a electrical, I would think. I would think with the dark moon being in Sag. So I'm going to share my whole screen. We're going to do the, oh shit, we're going to do the astrology because I need to show you guys this. Why is it? Okay, here we go. I'm like, what's going on here? Let me take me off and let's look at it. The medic. Let's look at it with Texas. Where's Texas here? Okay. So Texas rises at a 214, descends at a 214. And let's take note. That's the same midheaven and IC of Utah. Okay. Utah and Texas connect with the ascendant. Oh, sorry about all that scribbling. With the ascendant and the descendant of Texas. I also want to take note that Charlie Kirk, as well as Epstein, connect to Texas. The things that go down in Texas, like oil, hidden sex, things of that nature. Anyway, so getting back to the medic plane that's downed. Again, we have the 11th house of groups. We have the FBI right here. The FBI has got a lot of problems going on right now. And I don't know if you remember, but we were talking about the moon and how the moon was going to be in a conjunction today. This would have happened at 3:20 today. We were just now hearing about it. Yeah, medic burn patient from Mexico crashed earlier. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna compare those two. You and Shauna are thinking the same. She's not gonna be here tonight, but she's gonna rewatch it on the replay. Yeah, because she wanted to see the comparison. So this 2542, it's very interesting that the prisons, hospitals, things of that nature is we would want to look in the Piscean things of the past too, things of the past with Pisces because the 12th house is always going to represent the past. This is the subconscious. This is that unconscious that wants to make itself conscious. Okay? So 2542, again, that's the FBI. Limits and obstacles with the way that they bring in money with hospitals. Okay? That's what I'm thinking right now. The thing that was going on with Texas at this time is the lunar nodes of fate. The lunar nodes of fate was coming down into that 1239. It was coming down to the 1238 with Texas. Or maybe it's Mexico. Let me see. It's right here. There it is. There is the government, possibly insurance type of thing. Right there. It's coming into the 11th house of groups, the 5th house of kids. And so when I got the news, as soon as I got off live, that 1239 had come down to that 1238 pretty quickly. Right there. There's that connection. So we take on this connection and we can think, okay, Mars could be a vehicle. It could be, it's a lot of fire. It's combustive. We can think of it that way. It could be warring, things of that nature. But this is about the kid. This is about the kid. And I may even have, I kid you not, I may even have a Shriner chart. Who knows? So I definitely see that quickly, that the lunar nodes were coming down into that fate with Texas. There's a fate here. definitely of fate. And everything it's kind of like this, the way that I think and I see this, it's hard to trust. It's truly hard to trust anything that's going on right now because we know that we've been duped. They continuously try to dupe. And when I say they, you know who I'm talking about, them, those those people. The second house of values here in Texas, their values at a 246, things that are hidden at home with a 246 in Cancer. The moon had just crossed over their ascendant, their second house. So we do want to think about that, not crossed over in the sense of the same sign, but it was definitely making contact with those degrees. So you know how I'm with degrees. Texas, of course, has a connection with Tennessee and Mexico. And I was just talking about Sebastian. I was just talking about him and how this 7-Eleven matches Tennessee, but I didn't say Texas. So let me go back. Hold on. Let me go back. Hold on. Let me look at this. Hold on. Shit. All right. I just wanted to make sure of something. Okay, so I do know that I was looking for that 2433 with Sebastian too, and there it is. So I'm curious to see what's happening in Texas the day that he goes missing. But we look at Mexico with this crash. Let me look at Mexico with this crash too. Mexico. Let's go ahead and pull Mexico back up. Hey, Mama Marissa. Hey, everybody. I know this is like spur of the moment, really not interested in this type of stuff, but I did notice that when I was talking to you guys, when I was talking to you guys on live, Venus was at a 2751. And I was talking about how it was connecting to Sebastian. And we have a intense experience when it comes to groups. It's now made it viral. It's on the internet. And at this time, that 2752, by the time Venus gets here, oh yeah, there's an intense experience with the values of the plane with we the people. Very interesting indeed. And of course, that 7-Eleven that Texas has that connects to Mexico is right here, that 7-Eleven. So there's a connection regardless of what is going on in the transits here. But we did have in the United States, we did have the Flame of Life that has come under the gun at a 1928. It had just went into the 1929 after this call. There's discrepancies here. It was hard to find an exact time because we have AI wanting to tell me that it happened at 2:30. Then I had another site that told me 3:07. The Coast Guard didn't get the call until 3:20. So we know that the 911 call was before 3:20. You see what I'm saying? It's just sometimes it's harder than not to get to get to get all this. Anyway, the other thing that I noticed with this, it could be the Texas chart. Let me look. It could be that Texas chart. With the 9, there it is. There it is. Okay, so here in Texas, there's the physician. The physician is here. It's in the 8th house of death. This 907 in Cancer with that physician, Apollo, is being opposed by the authority and the desires with this authority. So Capricorn 907 and a Cancer 90, that guys, that's a direct opposition right there. Like that's opposing the physician. That's why there's death. Okay? That's why there's death. Now, again, I'm still looking for, the last live I was talking about missing Sebastian Rogers. I'm still looking for that 2439. I have not found it yet, but I'm still looking. I'm even looking through my notes because I've got it written down. I just don't have anything written down by it. And that's driving me crazy. But I do know that the day that he went missing, I need to look and see what was going on with Texas that day, because that is where the law was attaching itself, the home of Texas. All right. So if we look at these and we compare them, these two medical planes, because the Cessna plane that crashed on August 5th in Arizona at 12:40 p.m. Obviously, we are rising, but this is different from the 911 call. So I'm not really buying that, but that time per se. But I do notice that there are certain degrees, because I work off degrees too. And I'm noticing that one of the degrees that really strikes me, it just really stands out is the 2542. And the 2542. So with this crash that took place, this medical plane that took place on August 5th, we have the FBI here. And there's a relationship with the FBI, and they are descending with this relationship. With the FBI, they are having limits and obstacles. Most definitely fog. Yeah, most definitely. The fog seems to be contributing on the onset anyway. It's appearing like that. It appears that there could be problems because of the fog. During this crash right here, there's things going on with the United States, with their values, with kids. And I can see that the moon is reflecting a 0049 during this crash, which is very interesting to me because that 0049 shows up right here with Texas. That Saturn right there with Texas, that 0049 that's in the 11th house of groups, how they bring in money, militant type, I don't know. But that 0049 in Scorpio with their Saturn with this crash that took place before, the moon is reflecting that degree. So it's, when I'm comparing and I'm looking at Texas and Mexico and this crash and comparing it, I'm definitely seeing some degrees that are calling out to me. For sure. But I wanted to show you guys that, this one right here, it's about the flame of life. There's limits and obstacles with the investigation with this crash, or so it would appear. It definitely has a signature of the UK as well. But yeah, this conjunction right here, it's about the things of the past. about the things of the past. And so it would come back down to things of the past with this crash. I'm thinking because that's going to be the reflection that has taken place in the past from this, that's why we're doing the comparison because we're reflecting on this one as well. I thought it was very interesting, especially since I was just watching the flights, trying to understand what was going on with the FAA because the FAA is going to be weighted down. In fact, during this event, the FAA is weighted down, and the FAA is going to be weighted down, guys, for the next 24 hours. The next 24 hours, the FAA is weighted. Does that mean that there's going to be more crashes? I don't know. I don't know. But I wanted to come on and to talk about this for just a little bit to show you guys that there is a major opposition with the Capricorn energy of this plane, the responsibility, the accountability, the boundaries, and Texas. And Texas, major opposition with the physician Apollo. So the physician Apollo is being opposed. And there's where we are not able to, the physician isn't able to get to them in time in order to save them. And so they have perished, or at least half of them have. You see what I'm saying? That opposition with Texas didn't allow for that. But the thing that I'm seeing here is the 2542. Now let's look at the United States real quick. Let's look at the United States because this is what I was concerned about as well with the United States. My last live looking at these transits, because I was looking at the transits during this time that this took place and just didn't know it. Okay. USA is going to be on the left, the medic plane down on the right. And what you're seeing is this. There is a lot of energy, lots and lots of energy in the 11th house of groups with the healthcare, with the hospitals, lots of energy that is going here. And what is that, Sag? What is that, Sag? That's the plane. It's about things of the past, the plane. And it's also about communications. It's also about communications and the health factor. That's right. So, Ceres, we can look at her as the carrying energy, and we can also look at her as directed energy. The carrying would be about the religious, which is the Shriner. The Shriner, even, I wonder if I have the Shriners. The dark moon that the United States has in this flame of life that reignited, that is in the 9th house. It's about long travels. It's about foreign travel. And so it went from Mexico to Texas. And I don't know where its final destination was. I'm assuming Texas, where the Shriners are. And so we could even map it. I mean, I could even map it and I could show you where it began, where it ended, and where they are found. I mean, the Galveston Bay. You see what I'm saying? We could even look at it on the map. But I thought it was pretty interesting. Very interesting, actually. Because that opposition with that moon, when the other plane went down, there was a 0049 in Capricorn with the moon. Something's up here. Something's up, man. Something ain't right. It's never right. It just never feels right when things like this take place. It just doesn't. You could say, well, it was just fog, and it may be so. Oh. Mm. All right, guys. Well, that's all I've got. I just wanted to come on here for a little bit and say, hey, I mean, this is I can show you in the transits where it was definitely making contact. Definitely making contact. And the FAA, like I showed in the last live, the FAA is it's all in the transits. All in the transits too. So that's what it is. The Federal Aviation, they're going to be weighted for the next 24 hours. So whatever is to come, there's anything else that is to come, you know why? It's because the FAA is definitely weighted down. Where are they at? Where are they at? Federal Aviation. I don't want to go back through and look. This Federal Aviation is showing up already. And it just so happened to begin when this crash took place. So we're looking at 24 hours, guys. We're looking at the 24 hours because here's the flame of life. The flame of life. Vesta is always, I mean, we've always, all of these glyphs are important. Otherwise, I wouldn't be reading them. But the 1503 that is in Cancer, that's exactly where, guys, this 24-hour transit with Hades is a 1503. It's a weight. This C with the cross right here, guys, this is a weight. This is a weight that they are carrying. It's a burden that they are carrying with the flame of life, and it's in the 9th house, is foreign travel. And that's why I'm concerned still for the next 24 hours about foreign travel. Thank you, babe. You too, Mama Marissa. Love you, girl. So that's all I've got. I mean, that's really all I've got. I just wanted to record this and show it, you know. But I will be back on in the morning and we'll go over it all again. I appreciate you guys. Love you. See ya. Peace.